Welcome back to Football Daily, and I've had enough of talking about Manchester United and Real Madrid's poor seasons. So here are 10 teams from around Europe who are performing well above expectations. 10. Wolves. Despite the fact Wolves finished as Championship champions in 17-18, 9 points clear of Cardiff, they had by no means dominated the league. They conceded the same amount as the Bluebirds, scored only 3 more than Fulham, and lost 7 games, with 4 of the last 8 table toppers tasting fewer defeats. But after their Chinese owners continued to splash out, bringing in Atletico left-back Johnny, Rui Patricio and João Moutinho with 189 Portugal caps between them, amongst others, hopes were high going into the first Premier League season for 7 years. And they've instantly looked comfortable, winning 4 of the opening 9 games and claiming points at Old Trafford and at home to Manchester City. Coach Nuno Espirito Santo, a Champions League winner under Mourinho, has named the same starting lineup for all 9 fixtures, a Premier League record, and this consistency has been rewarded with his side firing off more shots than Man United and Arsenal and conceding fewer than Spurs. And this form is no fluke. If they had performed to their expected goals, they would sit 3 places higher than their current position in 6th. If they can keep hold of Ruben Neves in January, expect a comfortable top half finish. 9. Borussia Dortmund. Ex-Nice coach Lucien Favre, Dortmund's 4th manager in the last 14 months, arrived through the door this summer with the club at its lowest ebb since Jurgen Klopp left the club. They had finished the season in 4th, 29 points behind Bayern, with their 2nd lowest points tally of the last 9 years. Favre managed to shift some ageing players such as Castro, Sahin, Yarmolenko and Socrates, all 28 or over, and brought in Diallo, Wolf, Alcacer, Hakimi with an average age of 22, alongside some experience in the shape of Axel Witsel. The rewards have been instant. They are unbeaten with 6 wins and 27 goals from their opening 8 games. They are quite simply bulldozing teams, scoring 4 or more in 5 of their Bundesliga matches, and crushing Monaco 3-0 and Atleti 4-0 in the Champions League. You may be asking what's changed. Well, Favre has certainly made them more efficient, with 46% of their shots now hitting the target, compared to 37% last term. Their attacking players have been immense. Paco Alcacer scored 10 goals from his first 10 shots on target this season, and Jadon Sancho is averaging an assist every 51 minutes. So whilst we wouldn't expect these unbelievable numbers to continue, BVB fans can certainly enjoy it whilst it lasts. 8. Bournemouth. Many considered Bournemouth fortunate to finish 12th last season. They conceded 3 or more goals on 7 occasions, and 61 overall, the 4th worst in the division. At this stage last season, they sat in 19th place, but fast forward 12 months and they are sitting pretty in 6th. A 4-0 defeat to struggling Burnley is the only real aberration in an almost faultless campaign, whilst the 8 goals they scored against Watford and Leicester City showed the best of their attacking play. Central to their start has been the form of their front 3, with Josh King, Callum Wilson and Ryan Fraser having scored 62% of their goals. Only Hazard and Aguero have been involved in more than Wilson's 7 league goals, and 24-year-old Scottish winger Ryan Fraser has 3 goals and 3 assists to his name already. Plus, his 2.4 key passes a game ranks 6th in the league and above Sterling. But for all their attacking flair, Eddie Howe's side have tightened up defensively from conceding 14.4 shots per game, the 5th worst, to 12.7, the 9th best. Whilst we don't expect them to be able to maintain their 6th place position, if they keep their men fit, their Premier League best of 9th should be topped. 7. Lille. Lille have gone from Ligue 1 champions in 2010 to 14th in the 2016-17 campaign, and a shocking 17th last season. They ended their disastrous season with 38 points, just 1 ahead of 18th place Toulouse, who were forced into the relegation playoff. Having lost Basuma to Brighton, Amadou to Sevilla and Malcuit to Napoli for a combined €44 million and only spending €9 million, things were looking bleak. But the club are second after just 10 games, and although they are already 8 points behind runaway leaders PSG, their rise in form has been incredible. Key to this has been manager Christopher Galtier, who joined last December after an 8-year spell in charge of Saint Etienne. He made one incredibly astute signing, bringing in 22-year-old left winger Jonathan Bamba from his former club. The former French under-21 international has already matched his tally from last season, having scored 7 goals in 10 games. But the real sensation has been 23-year-old forward Nicolas Pepe. He's netted 7 and assisted 4 so far, a goal involvement every 81 minutes. If the manager can keep hold of his key men, a first Champions League finish in 5 years should be achievable. 6. Espanyol. What happens when a team finishes 11th, only scores 36 goals in 38 games, and then sells the man who scored 44% of their league goals? Well, you certainly wouldn't expect them to be second after just 9 games, just a point behind city rivals Barcelona. But this is the situation that Espanyol find themselves in after the loss of Gerard Moreno to Villarreal. But the club have lost just twice all season, beating Valencia and Villarreal, whilst Moreno has netted just once in 9 La Liga games for his new club. But the fact they are 7 points better off than this stage last season should be taken in context of the rest of the league. Real Madrid have had their worst start for 17 years, and you even have to go back 7 years for leaders Barcelona to have so few points after just 9 games. And although we don't expect Espanyol to be Barcelona's nearest challengers come May, new manager Rubi deserves credit for their attacking improvement, with his side currently getting 6.3 shots on target per game, the second best in the division, and up from 3.6 last season. You know what I say? Good luck to them. 5. Borussia Mönchengladbach. Current Dortmund boss Lucien Favre took over the Borussia Mönchengladbach hot seat in February 2011 with the team in 18th, 7 points adrift of safety. Over the next 5 years, he transformed them from relegation battlers into Champions League qualifiers, finishing in the top 4 in 3 of his 5 full seasons in charge. But after his departure for Nice in May 2016, things went downhill, with his successor Andre Schubert lasting 13 months before former Wolfsburg boss Dieter Hecking took over in December 2016, with the club in 14th. 2 ninth place finishes followed, but this summer they cleverly reinvested €23 million of the Yannick Vestergaard's €25 million move to Southampton into 25-year-old Nice striker Alassane Plea. And Plea is rewarding their faith, averaging a goal every 113 minutes, having scored 5 of Diofolen's 19 league goals, a figure only topped by free-scoring Dortmund. And although they are vastly overperforming expected goals, a 3-0 victory over Bayern Munich and a 4-0 battering over Mainz in their last 2 league games show a team full of confidence. With so many German sides struggling at this early stage, qualification for the Champions League for the first time in 3 years must be their aim. 4. Juventus. Everyone knows all about Juventus' domestic domination. 7 titles in a row, 4 consecutive domestic doubles, an entire season undefeated, and a 100-point campaign under Conte. The Bianconeri are not hiding away from the fact that their main ambition this season is the Champions League. Their record in the competition is comparatively poor for a club of their stature. Just 2 victories, the same as Nottingham Forest, Porto and Benfica, despite contesting 9 finals, a figure only exceeded by Real Madrid, AC Milan and Bayern Munich. Last season, they were minutes away from forcing extra time in their quarter-final against Real Madrid, having recovered from a 3-0 first leg deficit, only for a Cristiano Ronaldo penalty to extinguish their hopes. But this year they have CR7, scorer of 92 goals in his last 83 Champions League games, and top scorer for the last 6 seasons. So far domestically they have been imperious, dropping just 2 points in 9 games, their best start to his season for 88 years, opening up a 4-point lead at the top of Serie A. And it's so far so good in Europe too. Despite Ronaldo's red card limiting him to just 119 minutes, they have dispatched Man United, Valencia and Young Boys without any issues. Europe, watch out. 3. Alaves. A decade ago, just 7 years after contesting the UEFA Cup final against Liverpool, Alaves were relegated to the 3rd tier of Spanish football. And after multiple seasons of struggle, they returned to Spain's top table in 2016. Their first campaign back was remarkable, as ex-Southampton boss Mauricio Pellegrino led them to famous victories over Barcelona, Villarreal and Valencia, helping the club finish 9th and reach a Copa del Rey final. Last year, under former Barcelona centre-back Abelardo Fernandez, they crashed back to reality with a comfortable 14th place finish. But despite very little notable squad turnover this summer, Fernandez's side are in exceptional form, briefly topping the table last weekend after victories over Real Madrid and Celta Vigo in consecutive games. But with the team 19th for shots whilst conceding the 3rd most and drastically overperforming expected goals, we recommend Alves fans enjoy these days whilst they last. 2. PSV. With Ajax not having won a title since 2014 and PSV having won 3 of the 4 since, there seems to have been a power shift in Dutch football. And this year confirms it. The Lampen are already 5 points clear of their Amsterdam rivals and faultless after 9 games. In fact, in Europe, only PSG have scored more than their 36 league goals, and no side has conceded fewer than their 3 goals against. This unrivaled form comes despite a change in the dugout this summer. PSV legend Philip Cocu left to take charge of Fenerbahce, with notorious football hardman Mark van Bommel replacing him. Known for his defensive playing style, Van Bommel's side have actually been a joy to watch going forward, scoring 4 goals or more in 5 of their 9 Eredivisie games so far. Key to this has been the form of their forwards, with Luc de Jong, Steven Bergwijn and Hirving Lozano having scored 20 goals between them already. And although they had a disappointing start to their Champions League campaign, that is to be expected, with only one Dutch club, PSV in 2015-16, qualifying out of the group stages in the last 10 years. 1. PSG. Dominating Ligue 1 is nothing new for PSG. They may have lost out to Monaco in the 16-17 season, but in 3 of the last 4 years they have won Ligue 1 by a total of 8, 31 and 13 points. After a quiet summer by their standards, in which Mbappe's loan move was made permanent, Gigi Buffon arrived on a free, and they added defensive depth in the shape of Juan Bernat and Thilo Kehrer, fans were praying for domestic title race. But that now looks impossible. They are 8 points clear already, having scored an average of 3.7 goals per game during 10 consecutive league victories. The main man has indisputably been Kylian Mbappe. The World Cup winner has 9 goals and 3 assists in 6 Ligue 1 appearances, an average of a goal contribution every 41 minutes. That's stupid. In fact, if he carried on at this rate, he would end the season with 54 goals and 18 assists in Ligue 1 alone. As I said, he's going to be the best player to ever play football. The French top tier is already a foregone conclusion, so surely they have to focus on qualifying for their first Champions League semi-final.
Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed that video, and if you want to see us try and win these, or trophies at least, why not check out FDFC, our football team, where we play matches, non-league vlogs and FIFA. Go over there and give us a subscribe.